Here we go, Mom.
Denise, Texas. KTVQ-FM, Nacogdoches, the Town Square Media Station. Listen live with the Q107 app.
Here we go.
On the Lumberjack Sports Network from Learfield. Live from Buffalo Wild Wings. This is the SFA Coaches Show. Presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. Your chance to hear directly from SFA head coaches comes your way. Tonight's show is sponsored by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. Protecting Texas since 1952. Cadence Bank, proud sponsor of SFA Athletics. Helping opportunity take shape. Bud Light, it's for the fans. Pilgrims Nacogdoches, proud sponsors of SFA Athletics.
All right, Mom, here we go.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
It's time for the Coaches Show.
Sponsor of the SFA Coaches Show.
And welcome in here to Buffalo Wild Wings on a Monday night before home
Yeah.
football game. We will be here at Buffalo Wild Wings for the next hour discussing Lumberjack athletics. We begin for the first 45 minutes of this week with footballs. We're joined here by Lumberjack head coach Colby Carthel, and his team will be at home this coming Saturday, hosting Northern Colorado's 7 o'clock kick. It's Parents Weekend, Family Day. It'll be a big crowd on hand for that. The 21st of September, and of course, if you don't have your tickets already, get them right now. 468-5225. Call the ticket office and get your tickets and join us for Parents Weekend against Northern Colorado, final non-conference game of the regular season, and it'll take place Saturday night at 7 o'clock here at Homer Bryce Stadium. And did you do anything this weekend?
We lost the football game we shouldn't have.
Yeah?
Yes, we did.
McNeese
so
State.
we can't wait till we get Northern Colorado here, and wish we could play tomorrow. But got to live with that one for the week, and got a week to get better. So got to get that done.
McNeese State this past Saturday down in Lake Charles, Louisiana. First time we've been there, I think, since 2019, I believe, or 18. 18, the last trip to Lake Charles. And the Cowboys were able to pull one out. They beat the Lumberjacks 28-24, and there were tons of different things throughout the ball game that occurred that could have changed the outcome of that one way or the other. But as we were talking just a moment ago, there's not a play you can point to that said, this is what cost us this game or that one. There were probably, and from a coach's standpoint, there were probably a dozen of them during the game. Just to the naked eye there, the observers, several points throughout the ball game where we had a chance to put them away and just couldn't quite get it done. And, that really was the difference. Just couldn't. I got the feeling, and I made that comment at one point, when we go up 10 in the third quarter, if we get another score and get them down 3 scores, this one's over.
Oh, there were several times that game should have been over, and we just don't have the killer instinct we need to make plays when we need to finish a game, and it was very disappointing. A very hurt locker room, but you got to own it. And I told them in the locker room, there's 28 points we left out there, one way or the other. Everybody wants to look at the Hail Mary. I've never lost a game to a Hail Mary. I have now. I've never lost a game to fumbling on air out of the back of your own end zone, but I have now. And, several other, we had one defensive penalty. That was on a 4th and 2. They're just trying to get us to jump off sides. They're going to go kick the field goal. We jump off sides. They throw it end zone touchdown. And we dropped another touchdown. And, the list goes on. Those are the ones that everybody sees.
Yeah.
But you throw the film on, and there's many more plays that just, come on, we got to get better. And if we operate here and execute the way we're supposed to, that game. And again, I don't want to take anything away from McNeese, other than the unsportsmanlike, crowd that we have to deal with. But they made the plays. That's what I told the team. I said they made the plays. They keep score for a reason. They don't look in pregame and say, oh, who's got the better team? Let's make them the winner. You've got to go out and you've got to beat somebody. That's why winning a football game is hard. And you better be minding your P's and Q's and execute to do it week in, week out.
Yeah, that was, go back to our Thursday conversation. We taped our little chat that we have pregame for our pregame show that starts at 6 p.m., by the way. It'll start at 6 o'clock this coming Saturday night. But our chat during that time, toward the end of that, I mentioned, because I heard you address them on Thursday, you mentioned to them, hey, these are the guys that picked you to finish 5th. So let's go take care of business. And as you said during our discussion, you're 5th until you prove otherwise. And we had a chance to take a step toward proving otherwise Saturday night and just came up short.
We look like 5th or worse on a few of those. I mean, I've never seen some of that go down the way it did, and we've got to be better as coaches. And you
you
better
mentioned
players.
You mentioned killer instinct. You mentioned it in your presser that's online right now, and and whenever I heard that, yep. When you get somebody down, it's not the polite thing to say in society, I guess, but when you get somebody down, you're supposed to step on their throat and kill them.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we had them on the ground, but couldn't step on the throat and put them away.
Even there, if we close out the first half.
How do you teach that?
Yeah, that's just, if you execute better, it happens naturally. And that's just where, and part of it's a maturity thing. Offensively, we're not an elder statesman club. We've got one senior playing on offense right now, Waylon Jones, and he played like a senior. He did a good job. But, so experience helps with that, but just executing and at a high level goes a long ways. And, I probably need to adjust the way I coach because I'm aggressive. I go for the kill. We went up to North Texas to win that game, and we didn't. And down there, same type of deal. I maybe need to draw back a little bit and let these guys play slower. I don't know, but we're going to keep working on it. But that's where we had our opportunities, and everybody wants to point back to the Hail Mary. Back to the last time they had it on defense, we have them third and 15 from the 2-yard line, and
let them out of a hole.
Hey, here's a free first down. Here's 18 yards, and if we just play and line up and do what we're supposed to do on that play, they're punting out of their own end zone. We're getting the ball. Now it's us. Even if we stall out, we're the ones throwing the Hail Mary. And so it was frustrating, but there were some bright spots. Wasn't all negative. Our offense, did churn out close to 460 yards and operated at a better level. Our defense, the run defense was incredible. 3.2 yards a carry. That's big time right there. They were actually under that against North Texas until they popped the 80-yarder late. But our run defense that they played Saturday was on paper better than what they played the week before. A&M had played against McNeese, and so those are some bright spots. Kickoff coverage was very, very much improved. It's good to see. There's some good things there, and especially there were some bad things in the special teams. With our lack of fielding punts, and we left 100 yards on the field in the return game. I felt like in terms of looking at the film, and 100 yards adds up to points. Last time I checked.
And that was another one of those plays that you point to that was just a contributing play in a 4-point loss. And we mentioned that as it was going on, you could see Kyline, the punts in the air, they had the wind at their back, and it obviously sailed a little bit more than he thought it was going to. He ran up hard, trying to get under it, and he was going to make a fair catch, but it sails 2 yards over his head and costs us probably 20, 25 yards of field position. And instead of starting at the 40-yard line with enough time to go score. Mm-hmm. We started our own 15, and now you kind of got to pull the horns in a little bit. You don't want to take any risks.
Right, and that was not the only one that we got kicked over our heads or that we called a fair catch on. We've got 15 yards between us and the nearest. The punt return team did a good job, and so we've got to, we got to understand our role there and get better at that. But that's just like you said, little things here and there add up to big things, and not putting the team away. As I shared with them earlier, this morning, I used to chop cotton when I was a little kid, and
I heard that.
Go up and down the cotton rows, and, if you see a rattlesnake, you kill it. You got a hoe and you chop its head off. Why? Because you don't want, you go a couple rows over, that thing, you mess with it, it may end up biting in the butt, and it did us.
It goes back to, you do not let things linger.
Mm-mm.
When you have a chance to end it, end it. And unfortunately, we couldn't. And all it took was one more score. I felt like, one more touchdown, really. And because I was asked numerous times yesterday, we'll talk a little bit about this decision as well. Then we'll just kind of throw this. We'll watch the film one more time and be done with it.
Yeah.
But a field goal late, we're up 10. And you decide not to kick the field goal. I did not know that Campos had been nursing a leg injury. He kicked one field goal earlier in the ball game. I know your long snapper, you changed that during the game due to an injury. But at that point, and that's what Hunter and I talked about on the air, that at that point you're up 10, kicking a field goal, 2 touchdowns still beat. So it doesn't really do you, while you get some points.
Well, there's gonna be like
as it all plays out, could have been a factor. Who knows? But as my dad over there used to tell me all the time, if a frog had wings.
Yeah,
So,
that's the way I'm gonna cheer for him.
Well, if I knew what I know now back then, and going for it, we're not going to get it. That's easy.
But it was, I thought, that was back to that
And what
decision.
about
Play
the,
to
and what
win.
about the kids?
Well,
Are they
play
gonna
win,
listen?
And also, the situation. You said it 10 to 13 does you no good, like 3 to 6 does you no good. In the first quarter, yeah, kick it.
Yeah.
Even with Campos is healthy, he's not 100%. He got an MRI today on his leg. Our deep snapper did get knocked out of that game. We played a true freshman deep snapper in the second half, which he did a great job. But first quarter, I'll take points. At that point in the game where possessions are limited, they're maybe going to have it twice more. You do yourself no good by adding 3 points. It just tells the opponents what they have to do to go score. And so we went for the win. I mean, first down wins it there and the next go round. And we didn't pick up the protection. Running back blocked out instead of in. Forced a rush throw. Still hit him in the hands. We didn't come down with it. Their ball. And we choked on defense in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
I mean, defense played great. Gave up a Hail Mary where we have 8 guys, they have 4, and we had 8 guys back there, and one of those 8 did their job.
And one of those 3 guys that was up on the line of scrimmage had McDowell wrapped up, and I thought it was going to be a sack. Half is over, and he slips out of it and throws the ball downfield.
It was a comedy of errors on that play, but it happened. But, other than that play, the defense played really good till the fourth quarter, and then we choked, and we gave up 2 touchdown drives, and I know they were tired, but you still got to make plays and execute when you're tired.
Yeah, and you could tell because when you looked at it, at one point in the third quarter, I think McNeese was 2 of 12 on third down conversions, and I think they ended up like 6 of.
They got 3 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
3
they were 3 out of 4 in the fourth quarter on third down conversions, and that was a big part of it as well. But 28-24, you mentioned positives, and I thought that, as you mentioned, run defense. Because going into it, if you tell me that we're going to rush, the Lumberjacks are going to rush for 240 yards tonight, and you're going to hold the McNeese quarterbacks 35 yards rushing, you're going to win this one going away. And I mean, you did the things you needed to do, except give up a couple of big plays.
Yep, and it was didn't make a few big plays the week before, and so again, it's a new team, and we're finding ourselves. We got to do a great job this week as coaches. The guys got to continue to get better, and we've got to make plays to win ball games. And we talked about the first fourth down, the second fourth down, 4th and 3, we decided to punt. That's actually analytically that one you should go to. I mean, both of them were goes by the book and the math, and I chose not to go there because third down we got stuffed. And you go back and watch it on film, and if tight end and tackle blocks their guy, there is a big hole with nobody in there, and Quaylen Jones has the ball, but we don't block it right, and he cuts it back for no yard gain. So I'm like, ugh. And hey, we golf kicked earlier, and it was great on the 5-yard line. I'll put it on our defense. Well, we don't execute the golf kick. We got a chance to catch it on the 2-yard line, and we watch it bounce and go in, and then there goes the last drive. And so it was frustrating. I promise you, nobody likes losing, and you sure don't like. Again, credit McNeese, their coaches, their players. They made the plays to win. I am convinced that we should have won that game. We were the better team, and that falls on me as a head coach. We should have won the game. Those ones that hurt.
Yeah, and that's that. You only have this year you got 12 chances, but you have a limited number of opportunities to get away a chance to get the W. But you got another chance this coming Saturday here against Northern Colorado. So the Cowboys, that was a chance to win on the road, a place we hadn't won in a long time, hadn't been there in a long time. But even when we were going, it's a hard place to win in Lake Charles. I didn't think that they had that big and that loud a crowd. But
Hurricane helped us.
Yes.
All the high schools were playing on Saturday.
Is that what it was?
That's what it was. Now, the local tailgaters still there. That's a tailgate down there.
I will say that they made the Lake Charles community, they had all-American tailgaters.
Yes, I mean, and they, football's important down there. That stadium, that press box is going to be something. I mean, where you said was not right now, but you can see what's fixing to be there.
It's going to be nice.
They've put $1.5 million in their weight room. They put $1.8 million in their locker room last year, and so they're doing some good things, down there facility-wise and putting towards the program. But that doesn't change the outcome. We should have handled it.
28-24 again, the loss to McNeese. Jackson 1-2. They host Northern Colorado coming in here this Saturday night, 7 o'clock, part of Parents Weekend. And before we move any further, this is something you need to be aware of right now, because Wednesday is National Cheeseburger Day. And here at Buffalo Wild Wings, buy one, get one free cheeseburgers Wednesday. And I know,
it's also SFA Giving Day.
It
so
is.
you can come get a free cheeseburger here.
Right.
And the money you save, you can give to SFA Athletics.
We're going to talk a little bit about that coming up, SFA Day of Giving, and everybody's going to be involved, and it's about just giving what you can. It'll be a day, but we'll talk a little bit more about that coming up here a little bit later on. But I thought National Cheeseburger Day, buy one get one free, is right up your alley because you don't. Obviously, everybody's not aware of the impacts one has on everyone they're around. We were talking about you coming back from Lake Charles.
A lot of people were.
But we weren't talking in that regard. We were talking about the trip, your first year here when we went to Cedar City.
Yes.
And you and your dad went to the steakhouse with us. You ordered like a side of beef and a big salad.
Rare.
Yes, and you had like 12 minutes to eat because you had a special teams meeting.
Yep. And I got it down.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So everybody's good at something.
I would say I'd come here Wednesday and eat my sorrows. My sorrows are behind me now, and we are fully focused on the Bears.
We are on to Northern Colorado, as Bill Belichick would say, on to Cincinnati. That's where we're headed this coming Saturday night. We'll take a quick time out, talk about the Bears and the SFA Day of Giving. All that coming up after this on the Lumberjack Sports Network from Learfield.